Ever feel like the tech world is speaking another language? You're not alone.
Haha, yeah, it can feel that way sometimes.
We're diving into the world of Kotlin today, a programming language that's gaining some serious traction.
It's true, Kotlin is experiencing a surge in popularity right now, and for good reason.
And if you're thinking, Kotlin sounds more like a Game of Thrones character,
Aha, I can see that.
don't worry, you're about to sound really smart.
Hi, I'm Jim Sugars, and this is the Perfect Developers Deep Dive, the show that talks about how to find the perfect developer. If you're looking for a way to quickly and easily find the best developer for you, your budget, your team, your project, and your business, then welcome aboard. You're in the right place. Whether you're just getting started or you've been in the game for decades, we're going to be giving you the tools, strategies, systems, techniques, and just a little bit of the old school about what you can do right now to have more fun, more impact, more time, and more money by hiring smarter, not harder. But before we get started today, I want to make sure you've taken the opportunity to get our incredibly popular, entirely free, very useful little playbook. The 5 questions you need to find the perfect developer now. It's simple, fast, effective, and 100% free. Try it now at theperfectdeveloper.com.
It really is a fascinating language, even for someone like me who's been in the tech world for a while. Developers just love its efficiency. And it works so well with Java, which is, still super popular.
So say you're thinking about hiring Kotlin developers, but you're not sure where to begin. Well, today we're serving up answers to some of the most common questions.
Straight from the Perfect Developers Playbook.
Exactly. Get ready to impress at your next meeting. First things first, what exactly is Kotlin?
Okay, so imagine this, right?
Yeah.
A language that takes everything great about Java, streamlines it, makes it even more powerful.
Nice.
That's Kotlin, basically.
So it's all about writing, what, cleaner code?
Cleaner, more concise code, yeah.
Which, for those of us who don't speak code, means...
Fewer errors, happier developers.
Okay, I can get behind that. So this cleaner code thing, it's not just some abstract concept, right? Like, it translates to real-world results.
100%.
The guide mentioned something about Google Home.
Oh, yeah. So, you see, Kotlin isn't just for your phone apps.
Right, even though it's huge in the Android world.
Big time. So, Google, being the mastermind behind both Android and Google Home, uses Kotlin extensively. Like, they've used it in something like 60 apps.
Wow, that's a lot.
And get this, they've reported a significant reduction in app crashes since making the switch.
Fewer crashes now. That's something everyone can appreciate.
Yeah.
Okay, what about other big players? Who else is jumping on this Kotlin bandwagon?
Well, Amazon's another great example.
Right.
They're using it for their Prime Video platform, specifically for managing user profiles.
Okay, so it makes the whole system...
Cleaner, more efficient. Leads to a smoother experience for viewers.
Okay, I'm starting to see why knowing about Kotlin is a big deal in the tech world, especially if you're looking to hire. But the guide also mentioned that simply finding someone who lists Kotlin on their resume, that's not really enough.
Exactly.
We need more.
It's like, knowing the alphabet versus knowing how to write a novel.
Okay.
Having a solid grasp of the language is, essential, don't get me wrong, but
true expertise goes beyond that.
way beyond. You need someone who understands, software architecture, problem solving, someone who can really apply their knowledge to real-world projects.
So it's about finding that perfect blend of, technical skills and real-world experience.
Exactly. It's about finding someone who can not only write the code, but can also, understand the bigger picture.
The why behind the what.
Exactly.
Which brings us to, I think, the million-dollar question.
Let's hear it.
How do you actually find these Kotlin gurus?
Yeah.
I mean, are we talking job boards, headhunters, carrier pigeons?
Well, the Perfect Developer Guide actually dives into several different hiring models, each with, their own pros and cons.
Okay, so walk me through some of these.
Freelance platforms, those are great for shorter-term projects, obviously. Building an in-house team, that offers more, I'd say, control, stability in the long run.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what about the good old job boards? Those seem like kind of the go-to for anything hiring related.
It's interesting, actually, because the guide points out that while job boards are obviously still super common,
Right.
they might not be the most effective strategy in, today's market.
Right.
Think about it. Everyone's using them.
That's true.
So it can be hard to stand out, like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but the haystack is just other needles.
You got a point there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the alternative? Where do you go to actually connect with these talented Kotlin developers?
Well, that's where a little strategy comes in.
Okay.
The guide highlights the value of like connecting with developers more directly.
Okay, so like what, going to the conferences and things?
Exactly. Industry conferences, online communities, even platforms like theperfectdeveloper.com itself, actually.
Oh, interesting.
It's all about tapping into those spaces where Kotlin enthusiasts already are, you know?
Makes sense. You want to be where the magic happens.
Exactly.
Okay, but let's say you found some promising candidates. How do you actually separate, like, the novices from the ninjas? The guide kept mentioning technical interviews, which, I'll admit, sounds a bit intimidating.
Understandable.
Like, I don't even know what that means.
Think of it this way. You wouldn't hire a chef without tasting their food, right?
That's a good point.
So technical interviews, they're kind of like that. They're a chance for these potential hires to actually showcase their skills, you know, in action.
So instead of just talking about code, they actually have to, like, write it.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
It's all about seeing how they think, how they approach problems, how they handle those like inevitable oh no moments that always come up in any coding project.
Yeah, that's got to be nerve-wracking. Even for, like, the most seasoned developer.
You'd be surprised. A lot of developers actually enjoy the challenge, you know?
Really?
It's a chance for them to really strut their stuff, you know? Tackle interesting problems.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of like a mental obstacle course for coders.
Exactly.
But it's not all about, just pure technical prowess, is it? The guide also touched on, like, the importance of soft skills,
Oh, absolutely.
which in the tech world,
Huge, because in any kind of collaborative environment, you know that communication, teamwork, those are crucial.
right,
You need someone who can, one, articulate their ideas clearly.
right, because you got to be able to work with them.
Exactly. But also someone who can listen to feedback.
Compromise.
Yes. And work effectively as part of a team.
Makes sense, because even the most brilliant code is kind of useless if nobody understands it or it can't be integrated into, like, a larger project.
100%. So while technical skills are obviously paramount, I always say, don't underestimate those soft skills.
Finding someone who's also a good communicator, a good problem solver, a good team player.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about that balance.
Finding the right blend.
Okay. Now let's talk numbers.
Hit me.
The guide kept mentioning salary.
Right.
What's the damage when we're talking about hiring a Kotlin developer?
Well, like most things in tech, it varies.
Okay.
Experience, location, complexity of the project, all these factors come into play.
Okay, so a lot of variables. But, like, give me a ballpark. What are we talking here?
Sure. The Stack Overflow survey, always a good source for this kind of data.
Yeah, they're great.
They put the average Kotlin developer salary in the U.S. at around $69,000.
Okay, so not exactly entry level,
No.
but definitely competitive.
Oh, yeah. And remember, that's just an average.
Right.
Senior developers, high demand areas like, Silicon Valley or New York,
Mm-hmm.
they can command significantly higher salaries.
Location, as they say.
Always.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've covered what Kotlin is, why it's causing such a stir, even kicked into the salary landscape a little bit.
It's fascinating stuff.
Uh-huh.
It is. But this is where I think the Perfect Developer Guide gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
They have this whole concept called the 5 questions,
I did see that, yeah.
and it sounds like a game changer for anyone who's looking to hire.
It did catch my eye. It's a really clever approach, I think, to streamlining that hiring process.
So walk me through this. What exactly are the 5 questions, and how do they, help you actually find the perfect Kotlin developer for you?
It's pretty straightforward, actually. The Perfect Developer team, they've identified 5 key questions, right?
Okay.
And these questions, they help you pinpoint exactly what you need in a Kotlin developer, but in a really focused way.
So it's not just about their tech skills.
It goes beyond that, yeah. It delves into your specific project needs, the team dynamics, even your company culture.
Because you're not just looking for somebody who can, write code in a vacuum.
Yeah.
You're looking for somebody who's the right fit.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of this whole thing. It really takes the guesswork out of hiring.
Instead of just sifting through resumes, crossing your fingers, hoping for the best.
Exactly. The 5 questions, they guide you towards candidates who are genuinely well-suited for what you're doing.
So it's like a targeted approach to developer matchmaking.
I like that.
No more throwing spaghetti at the wall, but does it actually work?
That's the thing. Their whole system, it's built on data, experience.
Oh, okay.
They've streamlined this process of really understanding what you need and then matching you with developers who actually have the right skills. the right experience. It's all about finding that like sweet spot where your project requirements and the developer's expertise, they just like perfectly align.
Okay, I'm sold. This sounds honestly like a game changer for anyone who's like tearing their hair out trying to navigate this whole world of Kotlin developer hiring.
It can be a jungle out there.
It can. So where can our listeners go if they want to try out the 5 questions themselves?
Head over to theperfectdeveloper.com. It's super easy to find.
Awesome. So there you have it, listeners. We've gone from Kotlin what to confidently navigating the exciting and sometimes overwhelming world of Kotlin developer hiring. Who knew a deep dive into a programming language could be so insightful?
And surprisingly approachable, I think. Like, Kotlin itself might be complex, but finding the right developer to bring it to life doesn't have to be.
Exactly. With the right tools and the right insights, you can find your perfect Kotlin match, bring those tech projects to life, and really just make magic happen.
And hey, if those projects involve like building the next Google Home or revolutionizing how we stream movies, don't forget to thank Kotlin.
Absolutely. And if you're ready to take the plunge, head over to theperfectdeveloper.com. Try the 5 questions. You won't regret it. That's it for this deep dive happy hiring, everyone.